Hey everybody, Billy Bob here, and it's Way Back Wednesday. And with all the controversy going on in the playoff system, the CFP, the college football playoff system, with Notre Dame didn't get in, Miami got in, Alabama shouldn't have got in according to some, and then we got Texas who thinks they should have got in. Of course, Vandy has 2 losses. Brigham Young, they thought they should have got in. They have 2 losses, both to Texas Tech. And by the way, I got a big, beautiful Billy Bob Bud Light just right here. But anyway, so in 1998, they formed the Bowl Championship Series. And that was a round robin. There was the Rose Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, and the Cotton Bowl, and the Fiesta Bowl. So there were actually, the Cotton Bowl was not part of it. My bad. Fiesta Bowl, Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl, and Orange Bowl. And they rotated each and every year where those games were played. And then the teams that didn't make it to the championship game, they paired them up in the other 3 bowls. So they replaced the Bowl Alliance and then the Bowl Coalition. And, even before that, they tried to pair 1 and 2 here and there. But it was more random when you paired them up in bowl games than a formal system. So there wasn't always controversy. There wasn't at first, not for the first few years. Now, the system, ironically, is a lot like some want part of today. What I mean by that, it was the way the teams were selected. And again, it was only 2 teams back then. There wasn't 4. There wasn't 12 like there is today. And this went from 1998, or first game was 1999, until 2013. And then in 2014, the 4-team Bowl Championship Series started. So the criteria was that you would compile an average of the USA Today Coaches Poll, the Harris Interactive Poll, and then an average of 6 different computer ratings or rankings, right? Some was, strength of schedule and some of that. And that's where people want to go back, like, oh, let's get the computers involved. Forget about the people. Well, I remember that people complained and bitched and moaned about the computers. We need people. The computers can't figure it out. We need people. Well, so the very first one that was played, and apparently no controversy as far as who got in, because I couldn't find it. Maybe there was, but I couldn't find it. It was Tennessee, who were the SEC champs, and Florida State, who are the ACC co-champs. It was played the Fiesta Bowl out in Tempe, Arizona. Tennessee won the game 23-16. By the way, in that game was one of the most memorable moments of all the BCS. Quarterback T. Martin for the Tennessee Volunteers threw a 79-yard touchdown pass, which still stands as the longest pass in BCS history. He threw it to his wide receiver, Peerless Price. So just a little tidbit there. But here's another thing as I look back, and you tend to forget these things, how dominant back then Florida State was under Bobby Bowden. Because in 1998, it was the 99 game, happened January 4th, 99, 98 season. But in 99, Tennessee played Florida State, or maybe I should say it the other way around. Florida State played Tennessee. Then in 2000, Florida State, the ACC champs, played Virginia Tech. You remember? Did we even remember Virginia Tech was in a championship game? They were the Big East champs back then. And then Florida State played for a 3rd year. They played 3 years in a row in the BCS championship game. So they played in 2001, they played Oklahoma who was the Big 12 champ, and then Florida State was the ACC champ. So Florida State went 1-2 in those 3 games. It was 13-2. Is that right? Oklahoma won that game in 2001, 13-2. Prior to that, the year before, it was 46-29 Florida State over Virginia Tech. So, controversy. When did the controversy actually begin? So it began really in 2003, and that was when Nebraska, let's see. Actually, it began in 2001. So in 2001, Oregon was ranked 2nd in the AP, and they were bypassed in favor of Nebraska, who was slaughtered, so to speak. They were blown out by Colorado in their final regular season game, 62-36. Sound familiar? You know, Alabama got whacked in the SEC championship game, but it didn't cost them. So in this game, Nebraska gets pounded in a regular season game, but they went on to play Miami in the championship game. Miami won that game 37-14. Then in 2003, USC was not included in the game, but they beat the Wolverines in the Rose Bowl and ended up number 1 in the AP poll. But they split that year with LSU. LSU was in the championship game against Oklahoma. Oklahoma went in as an at-large team because, again, SC wasn't included. So, you know, there's the first controversy. And then in 2010, which game was this? Following season, it was actually the following season. Let's see here. Nah, it's not the following season. Well, the following season, undefeated Auburn, Boise State, and Utah teams were left out of the title, the Orange Bowl. So it was the Orange Bowl. USC and Oklahoma got in. And then in 2008, Utah was excluded from the BCS. They were undefeated. And that was the second time they were despite being the only undefeated FBS team and finished 2nd in the AP poll behind Florida, but they were left out. And then in 2009, 5 schools finished the regular season undefeated: Alabama, Oklahoma, or Texas, Cincinnati, TCU, and Boise. However, the formula selected traditional powers, Alabama and Texas, so they left everybody else out. What they said in some cases, like that when they left Utah out, I believe they were in the Mountain West at the time, and the Mountain West they didn't consider it to be a worthy conference as far as strength of schedule. So, you know, as you look at these things, and then even when we went to the 4 teams, right? The very first year of the 4-team playoff, TCU was excluded, and they thought they should have been there. Yep, TCU was excluded. So, but I was thinking further down the line when TCU actually made it to the championship game against Georgia after Georgia had beaten Ohio State. So a little bit choppy today. I don't know, off my game, not completely on my game, but that's the way it is. It's unvarnished, unedited, just me, just you. It's a wrap. America, land of the free, because of the brave. Stay focused, America. I didn't do that with vim and vigor, right? That was kind of like walking through that. America, land of the free, because of the brave. Stay focused, America. Billy Bob, peace out.